Ukrainian Defense Forces have launched a precise strike on the ammunition depots of the Russian troops in Severedonetsk city in eastern Luhansk region. Defense forces struck Russian ammunition depots in the area of Luhansk region. The target was successfully hit with a kamikaze drone. A powerful detonation was recorded. The short video of the operation published on Telegram shows a powerful detonation of the ammunition and the resulting fire. After the explosions, debris and the ammunition itself flew tens of meters away from the facility. It should be noted that Ukrainian Defense Forces continue to take measures to undermine the offensive potential of the Russian occupiers and force the Russian Federation to stop its armed aggression against Ukraine. Previously, the Ukrainian Air Force conducted a precision strike on the positions of the Russian invaders.
Это пиздец.
Russian officer Lev Stupnikov passed information to the Ukrainian Defense Forces about the deployment of Russian occupiers and now serves in the Russian Volunteer Corps defending Ukraine. This was reported by the publication Charter 97. According to Charter 97, Stupnikov studied at the Military Academy of Communications in St. Petersburg. In 2023, he graduated and was awarded the rank of lieutenant. He was later assigned to the 36th Guards Motorized Rifle Brigade of the Russian Federation, where he was appointed commander of the Communications Battalion. Stupnikov said that while still studying at the academy, he decided to go over to the Ukrainian side. This could have been done at the front. In November 2023, after training as a UAV operator, he found himself in the Ugledar area in the Donetsk region. In early 2024, Stupnikov wrote to Ukrainian blogger Dmitry Karpenko and since then began cooperating with the HUR. He informed the Ukrainian armed forces about the deployment of Russian occupiers at a training ground near Volnovakha in the Donetsk region. As a result of the strike on this training ground, 65 Russian occupiers were eliminated. In addition, Lev passed on a lot of other useful information to the HUR. He is largely responsible for the fact that the 36th Guards Motorized Rifle Brigade of the Russian Federation was unable to advance on its sector of the front in 7 months. In July 2024, the Ukrainian Armed Forces organized Stupnikov's crossing of the front line. He reached Ukrainian positions through a minefield thanks to drone guidance. In addition, Lev provided the Ukrainian Armed Forces with information about the location of a group of Russian Storm Z attack aircraft recruited from former prisoners. Stupnikov also provided information to the Ukrainian military about the accumulation of enemy equipment. On July 7, 2024, the evacuation of Stupnikov was organized under the I Want to Live program. The Ukrainian intelligence officers helped Lev leave the positions of the occupiers. He left his positions and, under the supervision of a Ukrainian drone, went out to meet the Ukrainian intelligence group through the minefield. Later, the I Want to Live project helped organize the departure of his mother and sister from Russia. They left everything and moved to Ukraine. Stupnikov's wife refused to move to Ukraine. Lev Stupnikov is currently defending Ukraine in the Russian Volunteer Corps. He hopes that the time will come when Russia will be free. There are many officers in the Russian army who act like Lev Stupnikov. Many of them, despite being part of the Russian army, are still cooperating with Ukrainian intelligence. However, for obvious reasons, these facts are not disclosed. As Russia has begun a massive regrouping, pulling in reinforcements from across its stagnating offensives to feed the fight for Pokrovsk, Ukraine struck a decisive blow. By launching a massive wave of coordinated strikes, the Ukrainian forces crippled 3 major command posts, eliminated dozens of high-ranking officers, completely beheading and halting the Russian offensive. Currently, Russian forces are undergoing a massive redeployment to reinforce and intensify the offensive towards Pokrovsk, while sacrificing several of their other offensives in the process, according to Euromaidan Press media outlet. Ukrainian intelligence, however, left no movement unnoticed and tracked almost every Russian convoy, from hacked traffic cameras in the Russian rear, partisans reporting on troop trains, to deep reconnaissance by drones. Ukraine followed enemy columns across roads and tree lines. Ukrainians stepped up their efforts by using one of the newest missiles in its arsenal to strike Russian command headquarters and behead all enemy efforts. The centerpiece of Ukraine's counter was a massive precision strike operation, with the first salvo slamming into the Topaz plant, once a Soviet electronics hub and now a command post for the Russian army. At least 5 Peklo jet-powered drone missiles were caught on multiple geolocated videos before detonating in near-simultaneous strikes. Flames engulfed several buildings, with further images showing smoke clouds rising above the site. Euromaidan Press says a second strike, smaller but just as targeted, destroyed the command hub of the 41st Russian Combined Arms Army within the Research Institute of Complex Automation, where Russia had been directing operations in the region. The Russian military was also engaged in the operation of anti-aircraft fire in central Donetsk. Finally, another wave of Ukrainian long-range drones hit the command post of the 20th Guards Motor Rifle Division inside an industrial zone, demolishing the nerve center of one of Russia's key forces attacking west of Donetsk. Euromaidan Press says these 3 strikes, occurring within minutes of each other, stunned Russian defenses, as eyewitnesses described anti-aircraft fire tracing the sky only after the missiles had already hit. The result on the Russian offensive is immediate. With key headquarters destroyed, the Russian chain of command has become fractured, and communications from army leaders to units on the ground has been disrupted. Many officers familiar with the battle plans have been killed, as similar cases in the past show that such strikes caused paralysis within Russian military strength. That's what happened. Nothing changed despite these attacks. Replacement officers need time to familiarize themselves with the battlefield and plan of attack, slowing decision-making and holding planned assaults. Overall, Ukraine's wave of strikes has effectively cut off the head of the Russian offensive at Pokrovsk by demolishing enemy headquarters, Euromaidan Press claims. Reportedly, senior Russian generals were killed, whose identities are being clarified, but even the disruption alone forces Russia into crisis mode.